Okay, some of you have been asking me about my keybinds, so I'm including them in this video. But before I get into keybinds, I want to show you this one important setting quick. Go to your options, then scroll down to the competitive section. The second one down under standard enemy models, I recommend changing it from the default disabled to enabled. What this does is make your opposing team all human characters and wearing standard team color wardrobes. Then you're not having to visually figure out the variety of colors and sizes and shapes and animations of your enemies. You will still see yourself and your teammates as they really look, and they will see themselves that way as well, but on your screen, your enemies will look like humans, regardless of their race, and they will be wearing standard wardrobe of their team's colors, regardless of what they are wearing. It is very useful. Okay, so keybinds. I want to preface this by stating that it will vastly improve your game to set up keybinds, and they do not have to be what I use at all. Any setup that makes you comfortably use your skills faster, better, and more conveniently should be used, whatever that may be, so don't feel like you have to match mine at all. If you don't know how to set up keybinds, it's simple. Go to your options on the bottom left tab, choose control options, and pretty much that whole screen are all your possible keybinds that you can set up. The left column is the primary one, which will show up on your screen, and there is a second column if you want two different buttons assigned to the same thing. So for the curious, here is how mine are set up. I'm a super fast typer. I can type extremely fast and without looking at the keyboard. So I use that as a strength in my keybinds and set up all of my weapon and utility skills as buttons on the left side of the keyboard that my left hand would naturally type when typing without looking, and I use my right hand on the mouse for movement and ground targeting. If you're a good typer, you know your left hand naturally rests on A, S, D, and F. So I have my weapon skills 1 through 5 on that middle row that my fingers start on, A, S, D, F, and also G. I put my utilities, elite, heals, and dodges on the most natural keys to reach from that position while typing, and I put my more offensive ones on the row above. Q, W, E, R, and T, and I put my defensive skills on the row below, Z, X, C, V, and B. So I put my 3 utility skills on Q, E, and R. The reason I skip W is because that's an awkward button for my ring finger to reach. I do, however, assign W as a secondary keybind to Q in case I'm going too fast and my pinky finger misses the Q. So Q or W are both my illusionary ambush. My middle finger going straight up to E feels very straight and forward, so I put my Mirage Advance on that one because that move is straight and forward with a shadow step. My pointer finger pointing up and out to R feels natural to me for blink, point to where I want to go, and jaunt is also my pointer finger reaching out a little further for the jaunt, which is kind of a mini blink. Defensively, dodging to me is like the opposite of blink. I'm pointing backwards to retreat, using my pointer finger to come down onto V. And just like jaunt is extending my pointer finger up and a little further than blink, my pointer finger going down but a little further over to B is my heal. I go a little bit further than a dodge. I need a heal. My middle finger coming straight down is a very natural move, and I have that one tied to interactions. So a revive or a finish or communing or even interacting with NPCs are all using the C key. Just like W being a bit awkward for my ring finger, so is X for that same finger, so I skip it and make Z for my pinky finger the weapon swap. I'm using a Razer mouse with 12 buttons on the side and 5 on the top. On the top there is of course the left and right buttons, and of course pressing both of them at the same time is how your character runs. The scroll wheel is a button I've set up when pressed to be my auto run. There are two buttons beneath my scroll wheel, and one of them is set up for stowing weapons and the other is set up for turning me 180 degrees instantly. I don't use all 12 buttons on the side of my mouse because my big fat thumb using those 12 tiny buttons is not fast and natural to do without looking like typing is. But my thumb rests nicely on the bottom row of 4 buttons, which I set up to be my shatters. So I control all 4 shatters with my right thumb on my mouse. Anyhow, that's what I use, and I'm super fast with it. You should use what works best for you, and it might seem strange because it's not what you're used to, but practice, 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 and it will become second nature to you. I can respond with any skill in a fraction of a second without looking, and so I can focus my eyes on what my enemy is doing and act and react instantly in any manner of my choosing. It's a skill that develops over time. I've been playing with this keybind setup and this character for over a year. I don't play other characters, so my fast twitch muscle memory at this point is deeply ingrained, and that's how I'm able to do what I do so quickly. Also, I run the same build and weapons in PvE. I'm a PvPer. It's what I do most, it's what I do best, and it's what I love doing. And I don't much care if it's not the best build for PvE. I use my PvP build in PvE to further practice my keybinds and the speed of using skills. Using a different setup and switching back and forth can sometimes be more confusing when it comes to having lightning fast reflexes and instincts. So, that's what I use, and that's how and why I use what I do. Hopefully, maybe it was helpful. If you enjoy my videos, please like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to tell your guildmates to check it out too. I'm Rezmerize, and thanks for watching.